We are switching things up a little bit today with a hunt out here on Layton Lakes, and I thought while we're switching up the map, we might as well switch up our loadout as well. So we've got some nice kind of wood grain weapons today, the 338 Championship, the 270 Stradivarius, and the 22H, which I'm not certain if we've brought to Layton at all yet, so definitely I want to try to take some ducks and at least one coyote ideally during the course of this hunt, but since there is a moose out here in front of us, we'll take that with the 338, and I'd say if there is one species that I'd like to focus on in today's hunt, it probably is moose. And I know I've mentioned this a couple of times, but it feels like every time that we kill a diamond moose, I find another spot in the trophy lodge where I just want one more diamond, but I really do think this time, one more diamond will kind of officially get our moose collection in the trophy lodge to where I want it to be. There's a spot that I just feel like a diamond moose and those massive antlers will fill the wall better than anything else. And who knows, maybe we can get that done out here today. Kind of a cool pose to shoot one in. I don't know if I've ever done that, so maybe a screenshot for something in the future. Well, it's not exactly impressive, but we're not going to pass up a chance for a male coyote, especially not when they definitely seem a little harder to come by on Layton than at least on Rancho. And I did remember that as we were kind of heading along here. We did have one hunt on Rancho where we shot 2 or 3 of them, but definitely we haven't done it very much. And I think it would be a cool weapon to maybe take a diamond or rare coyote with. So obviously a level 4 is not going to be that, but at least we got to take one. Like I said, I wouldn't be shocked if we don't have any other opportunities today. I will say though, it did a pretty good job. Initially when it came out, it probably could not have done that, at least not taken it down nearly as quickly as it did. Now it's a much more viable weapon for even, some of the class 2 animals as big as coyotes. Fortunately, we are in a multiplayer server that is into moose string time now, so wanting to actually spend some time going after moose, that definitely helps us. And first max weight one of the hunt. Bit of a tough shot to get anything in towards the heart there, but at least that should be a lung. And honestly, we kind of have to go that way to get around this area. And by the way, we are just currently in Balmont. I find, at least since the redistribution, pretty much the vast majority of the moose are in this region, so I definitely want to go all the way through it. Not too bad for this guy, although he is the max weight track that I had picked up, so 1.3 kilometers for a basically smallest possible rack max weight estimate moose, but a lot better than the first one that we shot, and hopefully kind of setting things in the right direction. For just a moment there, the kind of lighter back of that moose was enough to kind of convince me we might have had a piebald or albino. That's one thing I'd love to get, and we do have a gold of every rare for moose, but our piebald and melanistic have the exact same rack, which I suppose it could be worse. The mocha moose from the Aurora missions, I'm not sure if everybody's was uneven, but I saw a lot of uneven mocha moose screenshots, and the one we have is uneven as well, so I'm glad that at least our melanistic and piebald are not uneven. But I would definitely like to get a little more variety just in that for another rack, and obviously going back to the albino diamond moose years ago on Medved, I'd love to get one that we could actually place in the lodge, since we did get that long before trophy lodges were a thing. But a lot of talk about rare moose for what is simply a common. I wanted to know though, that is the tan fur type, because I know there are a number of different fur types, and I definitely do not know what correlates to what for the moose. So that'll be something to pay attention to. Another one in the 540 kg range, 206 for that guy. Lower neck as well. Not too bad on that shot, but nice to get a couple of solid moose out here. The quality of the moose is going up by a little bit here. I really like this rack as well. It doesn't have like the big brow tines, but if I could, get to choose the size of a rare moose or whatever, anything in this range, I would be super happy with. And going way back, it was on Layton Lakes. There was a 904 or something like that. It was a low 900s on the old scoring system. Piebald moose that I shot, and I have no idea why, but that never made it into a video, and eventually that footage ended up getting deleted. So if you were to make the comparison, I would say this is probably 880s or 900 on the old system, which kind of tough to make that comparison on True X. It was all weird the way that worked when there were True X in the old system, but I don't know, it just reminds me of stuff like that, talking about the rare moose earlier. If we keep on hunting maps that have moose, and definitely need to spend more time on maps like Layton, it could happen. took a little assistance there from Sir 12, who should be very close to the max level. He still has not reached that for tracking just yet, but 241 for that guy. Not too bad. I'd say our best kill thus far. I do want to actually check and see, because he has to be right there if we spent the time to have him track everything, or I guess he did hit it at some point. Well, good to know. Maybe we'll have a new dog at some point then, since he's max. What more perfect animal to take with the 22H than what I think might well be a Hall of Shame Mallard, which I don't know if we have any of those. It doesn't seem like the type of thing that we would normally, worry about. Most male mallards, at least on the lower end, are just that 1 kg estimate, and, you see a lot of those, but what, at least, I don't think we see a lot of are 0 to 1 kg estimate mallards, and 7 to 10 score estimate, by the way. So he is definitely going to be, at best, like, what, 5 below gold? He's actually 9.8 below 1 kg, just barely. That would be to be expected with the estimate, and a bronze. I mean, that's a perfect candidate for the Hall of Shame. We'll take that. Maybe we could do a Hall of Shame multi-mount someday with the ducks and a small coyote if we can find one. We might have one. I don't know, but yeah, that could be a random little thing to toss in there as we're starting out on a new server. I thought I saw something behind that tree. Max weight estimate 184 to 225, Albino Whitetail. Now here's the thing. I have not seen this on a whitetail in a while, but I am going to assume that should go up to 225 and score 225. That's what we've seen with most rare antlered animals outside of, I think, Sika deer. And that's also the first time, unless I'm forgetting something, that we fired the 270 Stradivarius today. So nice to finally get to fire a pretty good animal to take with it. Not only, in general, taking our first, animal with a medium big game rifle, but also one of the, most majestic, let's call it, looking rifles, and a very fitting animal in a really nice size albino whitetail buck. Apparently the rest of the herd was a little bit behind or something, but let's take a look and see what we have for that guy. 225 is the number we would expect, and he is at 225.4, right there where we thought. So he's a little bit uneven. Most rare antlered animals seem to be these days, but that's pretty cool. We double-lunged him there at 140 with the 270. A little bit back behind the heart there, but it did seem to me that he was going to kind of turn or something right as we took that shot, so no need to worry about trying to drop him. Just gonna make sure that we get him. And yeah, been quite some time out here on Layton Lakes, but we finally got something good. So before we wrap up, I feel like we should use the 270 at least one more time, and with a blacktail, that'll be the perfect thing to take down with it. And no diamond moose that we talked about hoping to find when in Balmont, but an albino whitetail buck, especially a gold albino whitetail buck, during the course of this hunt, might just be a better result. So just a silver for our blacktail, and we're gonna have to go back to the trophy lodge. I'm not sure. We have an albino somewhat similarly sized, so we'll have to compare and see what's better. So real quick, firstly, I apologize if I sound a little bit different coming back to this. It was really hot in this room while recording Layton, and coming back now, allergies are a thing. But anyway, I'm not sure if we made the right choice or not. So our 225 up here from today is a little bit lower scoring than the one we had from the Great One Grind back in 2020. We had a 232 up there, but the thing is, if we look at the couple of diamonds here, 278.8 for the albino and 278.5 for the piebald, they don't score that high anymore. About 275, 276 is as big as you'll see, and back then, diamonds in the area of 280, 290, that was a thing that would happen. So I can only assume that the scoring for whitetail is maybe a little bit different, and I'm guessing this 225 is actually bigger if you were to score them both now than the 232 was. I'm thinking there's actual more antler there. I really don't know if that's the case, but why not throw the more recent kill up on the wall anyway if they are very similar? And yeah, go figure, we don't hunt Layton that much anymore. I know you guys often ask me what my favorite map is, and I do always respond with Layton Lakes. It's just that we've been there and hunted it so many times, there's not as many things that we're still striving to get, but go out there and get a new Trophy Lodge edition. That is just the way things go, and I guess that's a good thing. That's a good reason to come back sometime in the near future. But anyway, that is going to do it for this video, so thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.